Welcome to an extraordinary journey into the mysterious realm of reincarnation. Today we delve into a case that has baffled experts and intrigued skeptics alike. Imagine being murdered in this life and then being reborn just to bring your killer to justice. No, this isn't the plot of a Hollywood movie. This is a real incident that took place in India. A 5-year-old boy shocked the world by identifying his past life's murderers, leaving the entire police department stunned. Even major international media outlets like the BBC rushed to cover the story. But is reincarnation really possible? How did a 5-year-old provide clues about 2 killers? And where is that boy today? Hello, I'm Imran, and today's video will take you through one of the most astonishing cases of reincarnation ever recorded. If you've ever heard of Sonar Keller and Mukul's past life memories, then this story will leave you speechless. Now, let's delve into the early life of Titu Singh and the unusual claims that surrounded him from a young age. His story begins in the quiet village of Bargaon, where whispers of his extraordinary memories started to spread. In December 1983, in Bargaon, a village 17 kilometers from Agra, a baby boy was born into the Singh family. He was named Titu Singh, the youngest among 6 siblings. Everything seemed normal until 1985, when Titu, just 2 years old, started speaking in a way no toddler should. Instead of learning basic words, he told his family, "Titu, tell my wife and children to take care of themselves. You feed me here, but I worry about my family." At first, his family ignored his words, thinking it was just childish babbling. But as time passed, his claims became more persistent. He insisted, "Titu, I don't belong here. My real home is in Agra, where my wife, children, and parents live. Take me back." By 1988, when Titu was 5, he made an even more shocking revelation. "Titu, my real name is Suresh Verma. My wife's name is Uma Verma, and my sons are Rumu and Somu. I owned a radio shop in Agra called Suresh Radio. 5 years ago, while driving home from my shop, 2 men shot me in the head and killed me." Imagine hearing something like this from a 5-year-old. His family was terrified, and soon word spread throughout the village. Many believed he was possessed because his mannerisms, speech and behavior were far beyond his age. He refused to play with other children, often saying, "I own a car. My wife wears expensive saris. I am not poor like you. Take me back home or I will run away." His desperate plea forced his family to investigate. Who was Suresh Verma? Why did Titu keep talking about him? His desperate plea forced his family to investigate. Who was Suresh Verma? Why did Titu keep talking about him? Suresh Verma was a wealthy businessman from Agra who owned a successful radio shop. He lived happily in his bungalow with his wife Uma, their 2 sons, and his parents. But on the evening of August 8, 1983, tragedy struck. That night, Suresh closed his shop and drove home in his white car. Just as he reached his house's gate, 2 armed men appeared out of nowhere and shot him in the head. He died instantly, slumped over in his car. The police launched an investigation, but despite their best efforts, they couldn't identify the killers. With no leads, the case was eventually closed. Then 4 months later, in a village 17 kilometers away, Titu Singh was born. But how did Titu know all these details? And was his past life's murder case ever solved? Stay tuned as we unravel this mind-blowing true story. When Titu's behavior became impossible to ignore, his father instructed his eldest son, Ashok, to go to Agra and investigate. He said, "Go and find out if there is actually a shop called Suresh Radios, and whether a man named Suresh Verma was murdered there. If Titu is lying, we need to take him to a doctor. But before that, let's verify his claims." Following his father's orders, Ashok set off for Agra's Sadar Bazaar with a friend. This was the location Titu had repeatedly mentioned as the site of Suresh Verma's shop. After searching for a long time without success, Ashok's friends suddenly spotted a shop sign. As they looked closer, their hearts pounded. There, in bold red letters on a white signboard, was Suresh Radios. Shocked, Ashok stepped into the shop, where he saw a woman inside. He nervously asked, "Is this Suresh Verma's shop?" The woman replied, "Yes, it was his shop. I am his wife. How can I help you?" Ashok then asked, "Is your name Uma?" The woman confirmed, "Yes, I am Uma Verma." The moment he heard her name, Ashok felt the ground slip from under his feet. He collapsed onto the shop floor, realizing that every word Titu had spoken was true. However, Uma Verma wasn't convinced. She listened to Ashok's story but remained skeptical. She said, "Yes, the details Titu has mentioned are accurate. But my husband's murder was widely reported in the newspapers. Maybe someone read about it and told Titu the story, and now he believes he is Suresh. Titu has been saying these things since he was 2 years old," he insisted. Determined to prove the truth, he made a request. "Please, Umaji, you and Suresh's parents should come to our village and meet Titu yourselves. I promise we won't reveal your identity to him. If he doesn't recognize you, I will personally bring you back to Agra and never bother you again." Uma was reluctant, but Suresh's parents agreed. After all, the hope of seeing their lost son again was too strong to ignore. The next day, Ashok and Suresh's family set out for Bargaon. Ashok didn't inform his own family in advance. When they arrived at Titu's house, it was midday. Titu was sitting with his mother, eating lunch. But the moment Suresh's family entered, Titu froze. His eyes widened in shock. Dropping his food, he ran towards Suresh's mother, hugged her tightly, and burst into tears. "Mother, you're here. I've waited so long. Please take me home. Tell father to take me away from here." Everyone in Titu's family was stunned, standing motionless in disbelief. Then Titu's eyes fell on Uma Verma. In an instant, the 5-year-old boy transformed. His expression and demeanor changed, as if he were a 40-year-old man. He wiped his tears, called Uma closer, and asked, "How are you, Uma? How are our sons?" Until this point, the situation was shocking, but still explainable. However, what happened next changed everything. Titu then asked, "Do you still take the kids to the Dolpur fair?" The moment she heard this, Uma's entire body went cold. This was a detail never mentioned in any newspaper. Only she, Suresh, and their family knew that Suresh used to take their children to the Dolpur fair. At that moment, Uma was convinced Titu was truly Suresh reborn. But one piece of evidence wasn't enough to prove reincarnation. To test him further, the families decided to take Titu to Agra for more verification. Ashok and his friend placed little Titu in a car and drove towards Sadar Bazaar. As they entered the area, Ashok instructed the driver to speed up, making it harder for Titu to recognize the shop. Would he still be able to find it? Despite the high speed of the car, something extraordinary happened. The moment they passed the alley where Suresh Radios was located, Titu suddenly shouted, "Wait, why are you going this way? My shop was in the previous alley. Turn the car around. I will take you there myself." Ashok was stunned. How could a boy who had never been to Agra before know the exact location of the shop? Such accuracy was only possible for someone who had traveled the same road thousands of times over the years. Suresh Verma had been murdered 5 years earlier, and in that time several things in the shop had changed. Its ceiling, furniture, and even the showcase arrangements. But as soon as Titu stepped inside, his demeanor changed completely. He looked around and said, "This showcase wasn't here before. When did you put it up, Uma? You even repainted the wall near the door and changed the lock on the cash counter." He behaved exactly like a long-absent shop owner returning after many years. Uma Verma was left speechless as she confirmed every single one of Titu's statements to be true. Suresh Verma had 2 sons, Somu and Romu, whom he dearly loved. To further test Titu, the boys were deliberately sent to play among a group of neighborhood children. Yet the moment Titu entered the locality, he immediately recognized his 2 sons among the other children. Overcome with emotion, he ran to them and hugged them with deep fatherly affection. Seeing this, Ashok, Uma, and Suresh's parents were moved to tears. Titu had effortlessly passed all 3 tests, and soon, the news of this astonishing event spread like wildfire. Even though Titu's reincarnation story gained nationwide attention, Suresh Verma's killers were still at large. As the media frenzy around the case grew, it caught the attention of Professor N.K. Chadha from Delhi University. At that time, he was working alongside Dr. Ian Stevenson, a renowned reincarnation researcher from the University of Virginia. Upon learning about Titu's case, Dr. Stevenson sent his associate, Dr. Antonia Mills, to Delhi to investigate. During her psychological analysis of Titu, Dr. Mills asked him a critical question. "Dr. Antonia Mills, do you remember who killed you in your past life?" Without hesitation, Titu revealed the identity of the murderer. He stated that before dying, Suresh had seen one of his attackers, his own business partner, a man he trusted completely. What was even more shocking was that the Agra police believed Titu's claim without question. They took Suresh's former business partner into custody and subjected him to intense interrogation. Then came a moment that shook the entire nation. The accused finally confessed. "Yes, I killed Suresh Verma. I wasn't alone. There was another person involved. We both murdered him." However, the legal system wouldn't convict someone based on the testimony of a 5-year-old child claiming to be a reincarnated soul. The court demanded concrete evidence. Just when the case seemed stuck, something chilling happened. The post-mortem report of Suresh Verma was presented in court, along with a video of Titu getting a haircut. The forensic evidence revealed that Suresh had been shot in 2 specific spots on his head. The video showed that Titu was born with 2 birthmarks in the exact same locations. Titu's mother confirmed in court that he had these marks since birth. The judge was stunned. For the first time in Indian history, the Agra court officially recognized Titu as the reincarnation of businessman Suresh Verma. Based on Titu's testimony, the court convicted Suresh Verma's murderers and sentenced them accordingly. This case became one of the most extraordinary legal precedents ever set. Even the most experienced lawyers had no choice but to accept the unexplainable truth. Today, Titu Singh Titu lives an ordinary life. He is an assistant professor at Banaras Hindu University. Despite helping to solve his own past life murder, Titu did not stay with Suresh Verma's family. Over time, he realized that in this life, he was Titu Singh, and he chose to remain with his present family in his village. However, he still visits Agra occasionally to check in on Suresh's sons, Somu and Romu. The memories of his past life remain deeply embedded in his mind. What do you think about this incredible story? Let us know in the comments. See you in the next video. Stay safe and take care. Thank you.